Stay with us as we bring in Ben Reitzes. Ben, I guess the immediate concerns for Apple have to do with iPhone sales and demand, perhaps most especially in China. But maybe the longer-term issue here is how does Apple don the mantle of an AI company? And how do they make that their narrative? So address both of those questions, if you would. First, the iPhone sales issue, and second, the AI question.
Yeah, well, iPhone is the majority of revenue and profit, so it's the engine there, and it attaches, obviously, a huge amount of the services. So that's going to be the laser focus. The data I've seen is that the fourth quarter is actually not so bad. The big concern is what's happened in the last month in China. Is it deteriorating every week? Why'd they do the discounts? What are they seeing? And what does that implicate for the March
What does
guidance?
not so bad look like, sound like, mean?
Well, some of the data I've seen in the fourth quarter in China is down just in the single digits, but there's potentially been a deterioration in recent weeks. So we got to ask them that on the call and what they're seeing. But there is a chance that things accelerate out of this quarter. They have new Macs. They're going to have new iPads. Their services business is doing well. They've had some price increases there that cushion the blow from the App Store changes. So if the iPhone can hang in there, they can get back to revenue growth. But let's talk about your AI question. Revenue growth is going to be the key. If they can grow in the March quarter, stock may catch a bid. But and what they say about China. But I think AI is going to be like the third most important thing, what they say, what they're teasing. They have an event in June, their developers conference, and I think they're going to announce some new AI features. We want to see an updated Siri, and we want to see services that people are going to want to use on your iPhone. And that could drive an upgrade cycle. I'm not so sure that this year is going to be the huge upgrade cycle, but I think next year will be. And it reminds me of past cycles like super cycles.
And that could be driven by AI.
Yes, I think, yes.
Ben, you have a buy rating, but your price target's 222 or about 185. So what's going to drive us to 222 from here? How do you get that 20% upside?
Well, what I think is if we start to reaccelerate on the revenue side, it's warranting of a very high multiple. Their services business and gross margins are excellent. They are in rarefied air. And those are actually what keep a floor in the stock. And if revenue starts to reaccelerate, I think that we could see earnings power touch $8 within 2 years, well within 2 years, at least earnings power. And that could power us even much higher than my target. But I think we got to see this cycle. We got to see the iPhones accelerate, and then that's what takes us there.